Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Thursday, the 1st of June. Holy cow, it's a whole new month, Heidi.
It is.
How did that happen? It is a Thursday. That means later in the program we have a Dear John letter, and I'm excited for this Dear John letter because it's just a fun one. And you know what? Every week I like them. But this one I just think it's going to be fun. I also have a quote for you. You ready for a quote?
Sure thing.
From Oscar Wilde. It says, "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." I like that.
Okay.
You know, even if you're in the gutter, you can still look up and see stars. You know, so it's your perspective of what you think about and what you focus on is, going to help determine your attitude a whole lot more than where you happen to be. So I like that. Coming up, got some special things going on today. We'll tell you all about that in a bit. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, June the 1st. It is Global Day of Parents. It is Heimlich Maneuver Day. Have you ever given someone the Heimlich Maneuver?
I have.
Yeah,
several
our son.
times.
Like 2 different times on our son.
Mm-hmm.
Both times on like hard candy, wasn't it?
Yes.
He's the oldest kid I've ever met, by the way. How many kids choke on Werther's Originals?
Exactly. Not many.
Twice. National Dare Day. So if you've ever wanted to dare somebody to do something, today's the day. National Nail Polish Day. National Go Barefoot Day. National Olive Day. I like olives. I like green olives. I like black olives. I like every kind of olive I've ever had. So I love olives. Oscar the Grouch Day today. Isn't he your favorite from Sesame Street?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Say Something Nice Day, which should be every day. Stand Up for Children Day.
Which should also be every day.
Yeah, and Superman's birthday today. So all of that going on this Thursday, the 1st day of June.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Japanese psychiatrist Makoto Natsumi is warning that too much smiling can be dangerous for your mental health. Wouldn't you think it'd be the opposite of that? Like not enough smiling would be bad? Japanese employers demand that workers affix a permanent smile on their face and even use video training to drill them into doing it, unthinkingly. Dr. Natsume says he's starting to see more and more patients who were shocked to find that they just can't stop smiling. Even when they're dealing with personal tragedies, they do it with a smile on their face. He said that forcing people to suppress their emotions and smile constantly is threatening to spark a national epidemic of depression and mental illness in Japan. That is kind of crazy, isn't it?
That's really sad.
I think here for the most part, I'll tell you what, there are some places you go where they don't smile. Like there are times I've gone to some businesses where you kind of wish they would give you a little bit of a smile. Mm-hmm. I remember going to one place and it was a restaurant. And the lady was like, "This is exactly what you said. Instead of how can I help you?" She said, "What do you need?" You remember that? And I was like, well, I need you to smile. It didn't work, by the way. She didn't smile. What do you need? Anyway, this is happening in Japan where they're making the employees smile while they're at work. And then they can't quit smiling. Even if they're going through something tragic, they do it with a smile on their face. I wonder if it makes them feel better, though. If they feel better, because when I smile...
No, apparently not, because they're going in for depression therapy. So It does not make them feel better.
But when you smile, don't you feel better? For you?
Not if I don't want to smile. I don't feel better, no.
Would you smile for me right now? Let's see. Oh, look at that. You look like you feel better. Did it help?
Sure.
Okay. I got a feeling you're just telling me what I want to hear. Anyway, this is happening in Japan, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. 2 men were robbed at gunpoint while trying to buy 20 pounds of marijuana. So what do you do when you get robbed?
Call the police.
Yeah, that's what they did. Sheriff's office in Daytona Beach, Florida said these men went home on Monday with $12,000 to buy some drugs. $12,000 worth of drugs? See, this is another reason I couldn't do drugs.
Right. Well,
there's
we
no way I could
can't
afford
it.
that. I mean, no way. 2 men at the home jumped them, took their money, and drove off. The would-be buyers jumped in their car and followed the robbers. Then they dialed 911 for help. The other car got away, but the deputies went back to the house where the incident happened, to, quote, get some details. And all the details they really needed is, so you were trying to buy drugs.
I wonder who they robbed at
come with
gunpoint
us.
to get the $12,000.
I don't know. They were arrested, charged him with robbery. Wait a minute, charged him with robbery?
Like I said, I wonder who they robbed at gunpoint to get the $12,000.
Huh. I don't understand.
It's an awful lot of money.
I don't know how he got charged with robbery. Anyway, I'm confused. That doesn't surprise anyone, does it, that I'm confused?
No.
We've got your moment of duh coming up.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, and this may be one of my favorite stories. I don't know if we've read this before, but I think we read something similar to this one time. A man in California is facing burglary charges when police found him stuck in a chimney. Matthew Allen told police that he fell down the chimney when he was going to the roof just to look at stars.
Sure he was.
It was not his roof, you see. He got stuck near the bottom of the chimney. Then he took his pants off and began waving them around, trying to set off like a motion detector or something, which did not work. Police were dispatched to the house twice Saturday, but saw no signs of intruder. Neighbors eventually heard a commotion coming from the house and called the police again and said, there is something going on in there. Because he was inside the chimney. They were hearing the shouting coming out of the chimney. So the police finally went in and found him pantsless. Yeah,
I think we have done that one.
I don't know if we read that one or if it was just one like that one, but that happened in California. And this has been your moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. A study from Louisiana found that just dieting is almost exactly as effective for weight loss as dieting plus exercise. So saying the most important part of the two, dieting. So that's the one you want to do. Hey, Greece is banning all electronic arcade games because the epidemic of illegal gambling in their country has gotten out of control. So no more electronic video games.
Huh.
Researchers from the University College in London say that eating 7 servings, that's a lot easier. 700? No. 7 servings of fruits and veggies is healthier than just eating 5, which is the current recommendation. So they're saying have a couple extra. So
Okay.
7 servings of fruits and veggies per day. O.J. Simpson is scheduled to have a parole hearing next month, could possibly be released from prison. This story is an interesting story. For those of you who are big game hunters, pay personal close attention here. Thunius Botha won't be a big game hunter anymore. The South African big game hunter was killed in Zimbabwe when the hunting party he was leading stumbled onto a herd of elephants that included calves and pregnant females.
Uh-oh.
Reportedly, the 3 female elephants charged the group, and Botha shot at them, but then was surprised by a 4th elephant that charged from the side and picked him up with her trunk.
Oh.
Another member of the party shot and killed that elephant, but a very unexpected side effect was that Botha, when the elephant got shot, dropped Botha to the ground, which hurt him, and then fell to the ground and died and landed on top of Botha, crushed him to death.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of bad. 51-year-old father of 5, specialized in using hounds to hunt leopards and regularly recruited weekly trophy hunters from the Americas, so from North and South America, to go on safaris in Africa. Interesting thing is, his best friend, Scott Van Zyl, was killed last month while hunting crocodiles in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, you might want to find a new profession.
Yeah, so there's the animals are coming back on you. They're saying, hey, you're going to take all of us? We're going to take at least one of you guys every time you come out. That's kind of scary. This is just sad, this story. A Girl Scout troop leader is on the run from police. She allegedly stole $15,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies. That is really sad. Why would you do that? I understand the cookies are delicious, but don't take them from the Girl Scouts.
That's 2 whole boxes.
No. $15,000. That would be
so
5,000
expensive.
boxes of cookies if my math is even close. Are they $3 a box still, or are they more than that now?
I don't know what they are.
Maybe
I
they're
just
more
know
than that now.
they're
I remember
expensive.
back in the day, that's what they were. Hey, McDonald's is expanding to delivery service by partnering with Uber so they could bring food to your door. This is something they're trying in a few select places, and then if it goes well, then you'd be able to have McDonald's delivered. Do you think that would catch on? Would people do that?
No.
You don't think so?
I just...
I bet we would do that. There are times that we've been watching TV, and there'll be like a commercial for McDonald's, and you'll go, hey, you guys want to go to McDonald's? We did that once. We paused a movie or paused a TV show. I think it was a movie because they were eating there.
Yeah.
Anyway, got a feeling that's going to probably go well. Coon Rapids, Minnesota, a woman maced a Wendy's employee because she gave her stale fries.
Whoa.
Yeah, don't mess with the lady in Coon Rapids.
Good
And
Lord.
I have kind of a happy story here. And this is somebody who I can honestly say I've never been a fan of, but now I kind of feel bad for admitting that I haven't. Nicki Minaj. And again, nothing against Nicki Minaj. And if you're a big Nicki Minaj fan, that's cool. But I just have never personally been a big fan of Nicki. But listen to this. This is such a cool thing. She has been supporting a small village in India through her pastor at her church. And so far, she has provided a computer center, a tailoring institute, and a reading program, and 2 water wells. All personally and privately. She's not out there saying, look at me, look what I'm doing. She could have very easily, but she just did it privately. It was just this recently discovered that she was doing this, and it's not her that is looking for attention. It's people like me who I feel bad for in the past not being a fan. So Nikki, I apologize. I think it's cool you're doing that. Coming up, we got more fun stuff on the way. Your Dear John letter is next.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for something we do each week at this time. We reach into the mailbag and pull out a Dear John letter.
Dear John. Dear John.
All right, I need to be honest. We don't have a mailbag, but it's all digital. So I don't know. What do we reach into? The digital inbox? I don't know. Anyway, we got your Dear John letter for this week. And I like this one. This is really kind of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what Heidi's advice is for this. Dear John, I probably sound like a conspiracy theory nut. I always like it when they start out that way.
Okay.
I probably sound like a conspiracy theory nut, but I am concerned that somebody may be putting something in our coffee at work. In the last month, there have been several people at work that have gotten ill. One person that has not gotten sick is a guy that does not drink coffee. I've noticed that the coffee seemed to taste a little different, but I thought we might have gone with a different brand. Our boss likes to pinch pennies and buy whatever's on sale. After my illness last week, I started thinking about the weird taste and the number of people that have been sick. Would it be weird for me to say something to my boss about this? I was even thinking of maybe setting up a camera to watch the coffee pot area to see if I could catch something that way. My husband thinks I'm nuts, but I know that we've all been getting sick for some reason. Let me know what you would do. Signed, no tinfoil hat yet. All right. First of all,
I'd quit drinking the coffee.
yeah, I would say the simple thing to do, if you think it's the coffee, just don't drink the coffee for a while. But here's the thing I want to say, and your husband's thinking you're nuts. Maybe he's just thinking maybe you're overreacting a little too much. Because here's the thing that I will tell you. It could have nothing to do with the coffee. Or it could have something to do with the coffee. But let's think it through just logically for a second here. You guys are all working in an office together. And if you guys are all sitting around having coffee together, sitting closer to each other, if one person got sick from anything, and they could have brought that into the office, if there's a guy that doesn't drink coffee, and it doesn't say whether or not he sits with you guys at break and drinks something else, but if you're all congregated together in one area, if one person brought something from, their child's daycare, an illness, and that was passed around from person to person to person, it could be that. It might not have anything to do with the coffee. Or if the coffee tastes different, and you said your boss likes to pinch pennies. Maybe he bought some coffee that was on sale that was like expired. Could coffee be expired? Could coffee get bad?
Coffee can go bad, yeah.
Would it make you sick?
But it wouldn't make you sick. No, it just wouldn't taste as good.
So that's one of the things that I was thinking. So when you're asking, should I say something to my boss, I'd be kind of careful on how you say it.
Are you poisoning us?
You trying to kill us? Just checking. 4 out of 5 of us want to know. That guy doesn't care. He doesn't drink the coffee. I don't know how many people there are, but I would just be really careful to bring this up in public. Not because I think that it's a bad thing to bring up, because if people are getting sick, yeah, maybe you should. What are your thoughts? Do you think if you were the boss and somebody came to you and said, I think somebody's putting something in the coffee because we all got sick? My first thing that I thought of is people get sick, and if you guys are hanging out together, you're going to spread it from person to person. It might not have anything to do with the coffee.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I would quit drinking the coffee and just watch my coworkers and see if they keep getting sick. I wouldn't say anything to the coworkers either. I'd do my own study, my own independent study.
Spreadsheet. Then all of a sudden they're going to think you're doing it. I know. I found this spreadsheet in your top drawer.
So Jan was sick Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
You're keeping track of when people are ill. She drank 3 cups of coffee. Fred had 2 cups of coffee. Mike, still no coffee, has not been sick. What are you doing in here in off
Here,
hours?
Mike, try the coffee.
And it doesn't say who makes the coffee.
It's probably the guy that's not drinking the coffee.
No, I don't know. If that's the case, here's the thing you could do.
And that's something you need to think about. Did he used to drink coffee and he's not drinking coffee anymore, and all of a sudden everybody's getting sick?
Well, she
I'm
doesn't
just
say
saying.
that in here, so I don't know. All I know is I think it would be a big stretch to think just because you drink coffee and just because you're sick that it has something to do with the coffee. And I understand if the coffee started tasting different right at the same time where you would think that. So I'm not trying to say you're crazy, but I am trying to say that it could be something different. And I wouldn't jump to that conclusion instantly myself. I like Heidi's idea. Just don't drink coffee for a while and see if it makes a difference. You know, if everybody else still gets sick and you go, well, guys, I quit drinking the coffee and I'm not sick anymore. Maybe it is the coffee. And how much of this coffee could exist? So how long could this problem possibly persist before they get on to some different kind of coffee?
I don't think it's from the brand of coffee.
So you think that somebody's adding something to it?
Yes.
So you think that there is some hanky-panky going on?
I don't
some
think
weird...
you're crazy. I think somebody's trying to kill you. And I would not drink that coffee.
You know, I just saw a little USB camera that it's the thing you plug in to charge your phone. I saw this on Facebook. So it thinks that I would be interested in one of these. And it's like the little phone charger. You plug it in, and it's got a video camera built into it. So maybe you get one of those and you watch the coffee pot, but I think you're going to waste your money. I got a feeling.
I don't think so. I watched Forensic Files, and they were poisoning the water. Remember in their little water cooler?
Yeah, that's true.
And they were poisoning it, trying to...
Just going to go out on a limb here and guess this lady probably watches Forensic Files too. Sexinylcholine. That's what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I hope we answered that. You can chime in with your advice as well. This Dear John letter was posted really early this morning at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Check the fingernails of all your coworkers. See if they're turning purple. If they are, then there's arsenic.
Is that what it is?
In the coffee.
Hey, what's going on with my fingernails? Are you killing me? Is that what you're trying to do? All right. If you'd like to submit your Dear John letter for next week, please do so at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Bible is the #1 shoplifted book in America. It's kind of interesting.
We've talked about that
Have we?
before.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Men can read smaller print than women, but women can hear better than men.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A doggerel is a poem. Yeah, that's what a doggerel is. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Blues Brothers recorded their 1978 hit album, Briefcase Full of Blues. They did that in 1978. All right. I don't know what the fact,
Okay.
I don't know what the fact was there. Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
Clement Clark Moore published A Visit from St. Nicholas way back in 1823. Here's an interesting fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are no bedrooms in the board game Clue. Where are all these characters going to sleep?
Oh,
Yeah, I
I've
never really thought of
about
that before. I bet our son probably thought of that. He's a big fan of that. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to Mental Floss magazine, Pepsi adopted a red, white, and blue logo in the 1940s to support America's war effort. So that's how long they've had the red, white, and blue, since the 1940s. A couple of fun facts for you, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Movies and TV with no monthly fee. ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight this summer before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free with an email to pinkdrinkfree@gmail.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. Are you one of them? People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it with an email to pinkdrinkfree@gmail.com. That's pinkdrinkfree@gmail.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. We kind of have a love-hate relationship with Facebook, don't we? People, they love it, and then all of a sudden they get mad and they leave it, and then all of a sudden they go back to it and love it again. Why do we keep going back and back and back to Facebook all day? Well, behavioral researchers at the University of Innsbruck in Austria say it's because we think we will enjoy it this time. They asked test participants to guess whether spending 20 minutes on Facebook would make them feel better or make them feel worse. Guess what? Contrary to their findings of an earlier experiment in which using Facebook put people in a worse mood, participants expected that using Facebook would actually make them feel better. So we go there thinking that, oh man, I'm going to feel so good when I get done. I'm going to know what everybody's up to. I'm going to get updated on what's going on. I'm going to be able to go to that John and Heidi Show page and see all those fun things they talk about. And then you get there, and then you're like, oh, man, look at all the fun things everybody else is doing. And here I am sitting on Facebook. I mean, you walk away feeling worse, which is not good.
Right.
So it's psychologically, we go there expecting some positive, and we leave there with some negative. And that's why, honestly, I try to post so many positive things, because I know that. I want to be the positive light in the darkness on Facebook. I know that there's most of the things that people share are either vulgar or negative or mean or whatever, but I try to put things on there that are, share worthy, that are fun, that are interesting, that are, positive news. So anyway, I'll get off my Facebook soapbox now. You haven't said a word.
I'm sorry.
Are you even listening to me?
I'm
over there?
listening.
You checked out 10 minutes. She's on Facebook. That's what she's doing. All right. Anyway, if you'd like to find some of our positive, happy, upbeat, cool stuff that we post, we try to put something positive every day. And we also share our fun fact. We have at least one of those every day at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
This just in, Heidi. Nearly 1/5 of all Americans 12 years or older are suffering from some sort of hearing loss.
Huh.
Yeah, 1/5, 20% of Americans 12 and older have a hearing loss, making the condition much more prevalent than anyone had thought before this study. According to the study, the hearing loss study shows that there was a hearing problem that doubled with every age decade. And it says women and African Americans were the least likely to have any hearing loss at any age. So the more male and the more white you are, the more possibilities of having a hearing loss for some reason. I don't understand why that is, but that's the statistic. So 20% of all Americans 12 and older have a hearing loss of some sort. Should we make our program louder so they can hear it better? This is for 20% of you. I'm going to talk at this pace now. Okay, probably not. Coming up.
Don't you think that's from earbuds and stuff?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that? Yeah.
When I was a kid, my mom told me, if you keep listening to your music that loud, you're not going to be able to hear when you're older. And I said, what? And now I'm saying, what? Quite a bit. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're on the fence about joining a gym or not joining a gym, earlier in the program we had this study that said diet and exercise is almost exactly equal to just diet. But now this study says, this is a study from the Iowa State University, says 75% of subjects who were gym members met the U.S. guidelines for physical activity, at least 75 minutes of vigorous or 150 minutes of moderate exercise, compared to just 18% of non-gym members. So they're saying people who go to gym a lot had lower odds of being obese. They also had a smaller waist, about 1.5 inches less for men, a lower resting heart rate, and better overall health. All of this from Men's Fitness. So they're saying if you...
Duh.
But here's
if
the
you
thing.
go to the gym, you're going to be healthier. If you exercise a lot, you're going to be healthier.
Yeah.
That's common sense. Why'd they need a study for that?
Because they wanted to prove it, so they could say, you should join the gym. But here's the thing. Just joining the gym doesn't do anything for you.
No, you got to go.
You have to go.
That's what it said. People who go to the gym regularly.
You have to go. If you don't, all you're doing is exercising your wallet by opening it each month and pulling money out. So if you're going to join, actually go. And if you're not going to go, you shouldn't join. Just saying. Coming up, we're going to talk about how your brain works. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
All right, Heidi, I'm going to read this sentence exactly the way they have it, and I believe they're trying to be funny, but I just want to make sure people know that I'm not an idiot. It says, and I quote, "Your brain works gooder if you sleep a lot."
Okay.
Okay. Scientists have now proven that college students and shift workers and parents know this all too well, that the brain does not work properly after a sleepless night. California researchers confirmed this info while looking into ways to alleviate the effects of sleep deprivation and jet lag. They monitored brain activity to see how it compensates for lack of sleep. They found that the effect of sleep deprivation differed depending on what the brain was asked to do. The sleepy brain increased activity in certain regions if it had to deal with verbal problems, but it slowed down from mathematical dilemmas. However, sleeping during school or work does not help the problem. So they're saying if you take a little nap here and there, just a short little nap at work, it's probably going to hurt you more than help you. So
Right.
I wonder how much sleep you need to get before it actually starts counting as a good thing.
8
So,
hours.
8 hours. Well, I don't know about that. They're just saying like a little nap here and there is not going to help. So I wonder if you need to have like 2 hours before this. That's a significant amount. It doesn't say in the story, so I have no clue. But there are times where I don't get enough sleep because we'll be at an event or we'll be traveling and we get home late, and then I wake up and I've only got like 3 hours of sleep, and then the next day I am just tired all day. So it's not good. You're supposed to get more sleep than that. So try to do as much as you can to get as much as you can. Coming up, we got some good news. It's a really neat story, and it's just it's one of those touching things that kind of makes you feel good. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. This young lady is alive. It's a miracle that she suffered just a little bump and a little bruise. April Lanzig was on her way to a Bible study is where she was actually going, and she almost lost her life. The car, driven by the 25-year-old nurse, was literally ripped in half, Heidi. There was a horrific collision. This happened in Santa Rosa, California on Highway 1101. Miraculously, she only suffered minor bruises on her hip, and that should be all healed up in the next few weeks. Lanzig sees this accident as a defining moment in her life. She says, "There is a reason I'm still alive, and I use my life wisely to help others. I just think it's really cool because when they got to the accident, most of the people who got there and saw this car mangled up, they thought for sure that the person in the car had to be gone. But she walked away from it with just a bruise on her hip.
That's crazy.
Now, I can relate to this because now I was not in a collision. I was not in a collision that ripped my car in half, but I was in a rollover accident. And this was back in 1995. And I hardly ever wore my seatbelt back then. And that day, for whatever reason, when I got in the car, I buckled my seatbelt like it was some sort of habit. And then 20 minutes later, I was in a rollover accident. And the thing that's crazy about that is the tow truck, when he came out there to pick up this mangled up truck that I was driving, he said, "Is the ambulance gone already?" And I said, "There was no ambulance." And he said, "Well, who was the driver?" And I said, "I was." And he said, "You're standing here? You were driving this truck?" And it was totaled. And I said, "Yeah, I was driving it." And he said, "I just came from an accident that had less damage than this, and there were 3 deaths." So, the next morning I was on the radio talking about a rollover accident where there were 3 deaths, and I just kept thinking, that could have been me. I mean, that maybe it should have been me. And that's where I said, I need to do something with my life. I need to do something positive. So, and I still need to do something positive. But I try to share some positive stuff like this story, and you can read this story on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Time now for the bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us right now. We have the goddess of gadgets. We have Lisa joining us. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Really good. First of all, I got to tell you, I love the title, the goddess of gadgets. That's really cool.
Thank you.
And Lisa is going to chat with us about something really cool. The company has sent us this thing called Bump It Off. We got these little deals in the mail, and we got to try them out. This is a really cool gadget. Now, is this your invention?
My invention, basically what I do is I invent simple solutions to everyday home, health, and family challenges. So if it's something I've invented, it's because I've encountered that problem somewhere along the way, and I was looking for a solution.
Very cool. And we got some of these in the mail, I think maybe a month ago now is when they got here, and my wife has used them for several things. And when I first got it, I was feeling this little thing. I was like, this is such a simple idea. Why didn't I think of this? So do you have that happen a lot when people see your things? They go, why didn't I think of this?
Many, many times, yes.
And how many different items have you invented so far, Lisa?
Well, I've been inventing products for other people for many, many years, but only about 2 years ago I decided to start doing things for myself under my own brand, under my own name, and so I created Goddess of Gadgets and then started to launch different products, and Bump It Off is the newest one in the line.
And right now I'm on your website, and if folks want to check it out, they can go to the website as well. It's goddessofgadgets.com. Pretty darn easy to remember. And when you go on here, you're going to see Bump It Off is kind of featured right now. And it's a couple different uses for it. Laundry, and then you can use it in the kitchen. You can use it on your body. You can use it on your pets. So what would you say, when you first invented it, was there one of those areas that you said, boy, I really need this, and then the other things came along, or how did that happen?
Yeah, my actual challenge was I had dropped my son off at school, who's 9 years old now, but this was about 2 years ago, and I was trying to clean grass stains out of his jeans, and I had a ridiculously small brush that was about the size of a toothbrush, and the stain was about 3 inches in diameter, and I'm saying to myself as I'm scrubbing, this is the most ridiculous thing, this isn't working, and that was kind of where it started. I also discovered while I scrubbed, the harder I scrubbed trying to get it out, is that things that are rigid, like a brush, actually start tearing the fabric after a while, all the fibers in the fabric, if it's something natural like cotton, which jeans are made out of. And if it's something that is a synthetic fabric, like a polyester or nylon or something like that, and you scrub it too hard, then what happens is you get a shiny spot because it actually starts to melt the surface of the fabric. So Bump It Off is made out of 100% silicone. It's very, very soft. It has rounded bumps on one side and then little tiny silicone bristles on the other side. So all it does is work whatever cleaning solution you're using, whether that's just simple soap and water or if you're using a spot remover, it works it down in between the fibers without disrupting the fibers themselves and releases the stain.
It's a really cool idea as well, and I think this is something that a lot of people, if they had the chance to try it, they would fall in love with it because it's such a simple idea, but but a great idea. Like you were talking about, usually you're using a tiny little toothbrush-sized brush, and it'd be great if your kids would only get tiny little stains, but they don't tend to do that, do they?
No, they don't. I've never seen a tiny stain.
They always come back with, giant stains, and instead of having a tiny brush for a giant stain, this is a way to take a brush that's about the size of the palm of your hand and put it to work and get that stain out of there in a big old hurry.
Right, and that's the other thing that's nice about it, is that your hand fits inside of it. And so it fits in your hand in a bunch of different positions, but it slips onto your hand. So it has little holes on one side, 4 holes for your fingers on one side, or the opposite side is slotted. So depending on how you place it on your hand, you can either have a lot of fingertip control to get really specific areas, or if you turn it around and put it on your hand in the other direction, then you're able to have it in the palm of your hand. And that way you can apply a little bit more pressure depending on what it is that you're cleaning. Or if you're using it on your body to massage, it feels really good to do it that way as well.
Again, the product is called Bump It Off, and thank you guys so much for sending us a couple of these. We had a chance to try it out, and it is really cool. And I see on here you can use it on your pet as well. We've got 2 dogs. We've not tried that yet, so maybe our puppy dogs need a little bit of brushing, and we can give that a chance too.
Yeah, it's great for that. You can use it wet or dry on your pets. Cats don't really like to be wet, so usually dry for cats, but dogs, wet or dry. The cat that's pictured here is actually my cat. That's Noelle. And so not only does she shed a lot because she has kind of longer fur, this lifts it right off. But she gets fur on everything else. She gets fur on my clothes. She gets fur on the furniture at home. And it also will remove fur and lint from fabric surfaces very easily while it's dry, because just the nature of the silicone material is very tacky. And so it tends to attract that kind of stuff, and then you just peel it right off when you're done to clean it. And the other way to also disinfect it, you just pop it in the top rack of your dishwasher, and it cleans it right up.
So people who utilize this for their pets, and then they utilize it for laundry, and they utilize it for themselves, for a massager, do they typically have a different Bump It Off for each one of those, or are they using the same one for each of those?
Well, hopefully that they have a different one for each one of those. It comes in 4 different colors, so you can have, one color designated for your pets, one designated for yourself to have in your shower. You can also use it in the kitchen to clean pots and pans, even things that have very delicate surfaces like nonstick frying pans. But you can also use it to clean fruits and vegetables, whether it's something that's like a root vegetable or a potato that you want to scrub with, or if it's something really delicate, you can use the brush side on like mushrooms and strawberries and things like that. So in my house, I have a whole bunch of them in every room, then they all have different uses. And so by having them in different colors, it helps to separate them, and we know which one's used for which, activity.
Absolutely. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to chat, and also thank you for inventing this. What a cool idea.
Thank you.
What are some of the items you're working on now? Do you have anything that you can talk about, or is it all top secret right now?
Well, there's a few that are top secret, but there is another one that's on the website that you can see there as well, which is a silicone water bottle strap. Most of the time when you carry water bottles, you have an opposing thumb grip, and people get tired because their wrists and their thumbs get, tired after a while for holding them. So the strap allows you just to hold the bottle in the palm of your hand. And so it's great if you're going out walking, jogging, or hiking. But you can also use water bottles as weights. And so, a small bottle, the ones that we see all the time that you get every day are like 16.9 ounces. So that's roughly 1 pound. And then if you go up to larger size bottles, you add a little bit more weight, and you can just, do some easy arm curls and lifts and things. And so it's a nice way to get a little workout and not stress out your wrist. A lot of people, have carpal tunnel and arthritis from typing. And so it makes life a little easier. That's what my goal is for all of my products, is just to make life a little bit easier.
There you go. And I just found that on the website. If you're looking for it, click on shop when you're on the website, goddessofgadgets.com. Lisa, thank you again for taking time to chat with us today.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And again, Lisa is the inventor of Bump It Off. It's a really cool little utility item that you use around the house. You can use it. I know my wife has got one in the shower, so I'm assuming she uses that on the body. That's probably the one that she's I don't think she's bringing the pets in there, and I've never seen her bring clothes in there, and I've never seen her bring pots and pans in there, so I'm assuming that's what Heidi uses it for in there. But then we've also utilized, we got the other one in the kitchen, and we've utilized it in there, so it's very, very handy. And you'd like to check them out, go ahead and find them online at goddessofgadgets.com. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.